Greetings, this is the man who pretends to be Charles Darwin, but I'm actually the author Stanley A. Rice, and my most recent book is Forgotten Landscapes. And the subtitle is How Native Americans Created Pre-Columbian North America and What We Can Learn from It. The immediate motivation for what I'm doing right now is that Donald Trump issued an executive order in March of 2025, which he called Restoring Truth and Sanity to American History. Now, what did he mean by that? What is it that he wanted to restore? Well, what he wanted to restore was the white supremacist 19th century mythology that the white settlers came into an empty land. There were a few Native Americans there, but the Native Americans that remained benefited from white civilization as they were driven out of the way. This is the white supremacist view of American history. The new view of American history that Donald Trump wanted to replace was the idea that, yes, white people killed Native Americans. Yes, white people had black slaves. As a matter of fact, white people had Native American slaves until they started running out of them and they had to start importing black slaves. This much is historical information. And what my book does is it, in fact, does restore truth and sanity to American history by presenting the truth about what really happened. And unlike Donald Trump, I do not label all of my critics as insane or as liars. I'm not saying that I am restoring truth and sanity because you are liars or insane. Instead, what I'm doing is presenting evidence for what actually happened. My book is not so much a political screed as it is a documentation of the evidence. The evidence for what? First of all, the North American continent was not almost empty. What happened? It was densely populated by Native Americans before European diseases killed up to 90% of them. And so the white settlers moved into what looked to them like an empty land, but it was only because their diseases had killed the Native Americans. And then the Native Americans had not just been living as savages, gathering nuts and berries and hunting deer, but actually they managed the landscape, native landscape management using fire management. Also, they had agriculture. A lot of tribes had agriculture and even irrigation. And so this is what North America was like. This is what the North America was that was destroyed by white diseases and later by white settlers. Now, the Trump administration is trying to erase Native American history. And the evidence for that is the Department of Justice back in January 2025 said that Native Americans were not citizens in the terms of birthright citizenship. As I'm making this video right now, the Supreme Court is deciding a case about birthright citizenship and whether the president has the right to decide that certain groups of people, even though born in the United States, do not have birthright citizenship. But it seems incredible that the Justice Department would say that Native Americans do not have birthright citizenship. Like, go back to where you came from. Well, we came from here. We've been here for 15,000 years. What do you expect us to do? So yes, we do need truth and sanity. And that can only be done by each of you thinking truthfully and sanely. And my book will give you information that will help you to do that. This is the man who pretends to be Charles Darwin, the author Stanley A. Rice, and tally ho and amen.